It's Suzanne. It's September 13th, and today I'm going to be feeding the hives some sugar syrup. We're still waiting on the goldenrod to start flowing here, and some of the hives, they don't look necessarily light, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Also, I'm going to be checking out the hive that I've been watching for about a month and a half. Still has low numbers at the entrance, so I'm going to do a full hive inspection and make sure that I am seeing eggs and larvae. And if I don't see eggs and larvae, I will probably combine it with one of my little mating nukes to give it a new queen, and that should hopefully correct the issue. This is one of the feeders that's empty now. As you can see, a lot of the bees leaked in. They used to get in through the edges of that hardware cloth, but I caulked that up. This time I think they got in through a little leak. I think they just crawled in underneath the inner cover and got in that way. So anyhow, I'm going to pull this off. I'm going to clean it up and put it on another hive. I've given them a gallon or so of sugar syrup, and that should be more than enough to get them going until the goldenrod bloom. And also I'm going to sprinkle some dry pollen over them just in case they need some pollen. But I'm not going to worry about doing a full inspection on this hive. Today I'm primarily concerned with the center hive, and then do something about this ant problem. I don't know if you can see, but there are ants crawling on the corner, probably attracted by the feedings that I've given the hive. So feeding is a double-edged sword, and it's not always a good idea or the best answer. But in this case, I think these hives needed about a gallon, so that's what I gave them. And they're done now, so we'll take care of the ant problem, and we will take these feeders off and put these feeders on other hives that need to be fed. It's a weak hive, and you can see they haven't eaten any of their syrup. And the syrup was put on these hives at the same time. So maybe that they didn't find the syrup, but I suspect it's because they're so weak that they didn't really have the numbers to go wandering around and looking. So anyhow, but I'm not. This syrup is probably bad by now. You don't want to really keep the syrup on for longer than a week. It can get bacteria in it. It just is not good. And then you certainly wouldn't want a weak hive eating syrup that may have, infectious diseases in it. So anyhow, we're going to take this off, dump it out. I don't know if I'm going to give them fresh syrup or not. It depends on what I find when I look inside the brood nest. Well, this is not what you want to see when you go into the bottom box. There are hardly any bees in here. I mean, I'm going to look in these frames, but I seriously doubt there are any eggs or larvae. They've got plenty of honey stores. So most likely they have a failing queen. Here's the upper box over here. It really doesn't look any better as far as population goes. Well, a little bit better. There seems to be a cluster of bees on those three. But anyhow, so we're going to see if we can't fix them up today. Maybe give them a new queen. Just to show you what this looks like, there should be brood in the center of the brood nest, and they are pollen hoarding, which I've read is happens if the hive has a mite problem. Now, I've taken care of their mites, but the damage was already done. I don't see the queen anywhere. She's probably dead or failing. Now, when I separated these two boxes a few minutes later, look at this behavior. And can you hear? This indicates, I think, that they actually have a queen. I think she's in this box. Do you see how calm they are? Since the population is so light, I usually don't worry about doing this. I usually let them sort it out themselves, but I'm going to go through and pinch their old queen that has failed. I think there is some sort of a queen in there because you can see this box is very calm. This one's freaking out, indicating that they did have a queen present, and I removed her and sat her to the side. She's in that top box. So I've got 3 frame mating nukes back there with brood and a queen and bees. So what I did, I took 3 from the center here. I'm going to put 3 of those in the center, and then I'm going to put the 3 frame mating nuke. I'm going to drive all the bees out of the top box. Then I'm going to put a layer of newspaper beneath it, and I'm going to put the 3 frame mating nuke there. So the bees can gradually get acclimated to one another, and it'll be a gradual introduction for the queen and her nest, her brood nest. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to find the queen, or attempt to find the queen. We're going to pinch her, and then we're going to do a combine. Found our queen, almost by mistake. She looks okay. I was expecting maybe some deformed wings or some other issue, but she's not laying. And I mean, I don't know, I'm a little bit torn as to whether to pinch her or to look at the other hives. See what they're doing. They may not be laying either, but I doubt it. Expect to see at least some eggs and larvae. How I love my little nukes. I picked the most populous looking one, which is actually the far right center, green with a blue stripe. It doesn't look populous now, but that's because I smoked it. And I'm going to go ahead and remove that one, and I'm going to combine it with my larger productive hive. And last year I saved 2 of my hives in this same way. So 3-frame nuke might not seem like it's worth your trouble, but it sure has saved me a lot of time and money and heartbreak. So let's go save that hive. So you can see there are quite a few bees in the air. I stupidly left the lid off of that center hive when I went to go harvest a mating nuke to add to it. So when I came back, I didn't have time to video. I had to get the queen in there, wrap it up tight. You can see little pieces of paper towel hanging off the edge. They're going to chew through that gradually, so they'll accept the queen, the new queen. And up here you can see I've blocked off almost the entire entrance except for one small portion. That's because, again, I was dumb and I started robbing, or I caused the robbing. And hopefully eventually these bees that are hovering around the top clustering will give up and go home or go find a flower somewhere. Not really worried about these 2. There doesn't seem to be that much going on there. This one is so strong it can hold its own, I'm pretty sure. So anyhow, that's where we're at. We're going to take the feeder off of this one, and then we're going to finish our feeding chores, and then we should be done for the day.